So the hybrid children thing beats him just a little bit. So we can do that first. So we have Elizabeth April. Elizabeth April, if you haven't seen me cover her in the past, I don't know if she's a true believer or if she's just scamming other people for money, because she certainly gets a lot of money during her live streams. She does a thing where she says that she is in contact with the Galactic Federation, which is, as you might imagine based on the name, a conglomerate, basically a UN of species within the galaxy. And, not beyond the galaxy, though. This is strictly Milky Way business. That's Get this Andromeda shit out of here. Dr. Gamble, thank you for subscribing. And Vulpus Redtail, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Galactic Federation equals aliens? Yes, they are aliens. If you have aliens on your bingo card, probably get it. I'm sure she's going to talk about it. Aliens. So she thinks that she's in contact with the Galactic Federation and is consistently bringing news of the Galactic Federation and her conversations with them to her audience that she has 89,000 subscribers. So that's scary. Although, in fairness, I'm also subscribed and I just watch it because I think it's funny. So, anyway, let's take a look and see what her most recent communications with the Galactic Federation are about and what news we might hear from around the galaxy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live at 5:55. Today I'm bringing to you tons of information regarding the hybrid children. This is not a topic that I talk about too often. Maybe I have one or two other videos out there describing the information that I know. So yeah, we're gonna kind of get into a whole overview of all of the information that I know about the hybrid children today. And I think that intentionally this is meant to open up and unlock your mind to, first of all, what are the possibilities going on out there? And secondly, am I connected personally to this hybrid program?
I think she also believes that she is one of these hybrid children. She thinks she has some alien DNA, and she thinks that's how she has her, like, psychic abilities and why she's being chosen as an emissary for the Galactic Federation. All types of fun stuff like that.
And what does that mean to me if I am, right? So I think that today, and all of the knowledge of today, is going to really give you tons of that great information and food for thought. As always, big disclaimer, take it or leave it, guys. This information may be quite triggering for you. And you know what? I've triggered people with this information before. So yeah, once again, take it or leave it. If it resonates with you, great, fantastic. If not, no big deal. I still love you. You're still here. You're still open to,
This is why I appreciate her as a crazy person, because she's, like, positive about it. A little bit like Nathan, I guess. Her and Nathan should get together and discuss Flat Earth and its relation to the Galactic Federation. I think that would be a very interesting and very positive conversation, full of nothing but nonsense, but it would be very positive nonsense.
Viewing different perspectives, right?
Maya is bored with 50 bits, says I'm gonna head to bed after the hybrid children because my mental health is crap today, but wanted to give you some bits and tell you how much I appreciate both your streams and your and Jake's channel. I always watch your chick tracks when I need a laugh. Well, I'm sorry you're having a bad day, but thank you for saying that we help you in some way. I appreciate that, and I hope you feel better after you have a good sleep.
Yeah, so I also want to mention too that everything I'm going to talk about and mention today is directly connected to my own experience. So as you guys know, I don't do any external information or research, and ultimately, everything I'm going to relate today is either through a past lifetime, it's either through a client who is a hybrid parent or has hybrid children, or it's actually through me just astral traveling, around.
That's good. That's honestly why I trust her, because if you're going to go out and look for information by researching it, you're going to come up with all sorts of made-up stuff. But if you get your information directly from your past lives and astral projection a la Doctor Strange, you know that information's going to be accurate. Am I right, guys? Thank you, Virkanon, for subscribing with a 5-month streak.
Around and gaining access to information. So I think some of you may assume that I only go to the Galactic Federation for information, but to be honest, the GFL is a very small portion of the information that I have access to, and if I want real deal stuff, I'll either go right to the universal source, or I'll go into my own Akashic records.
Oh, so I guess she's not just in contact with the Galactic Federation, she can interface with the galaxy directly, whatever that means.
In past lifetimes and interdimensional lifetimes as well. And thank you so much, Jeremy, again, for that beautiful super chat. You're just so generous. And throughout this video, if this information does resonate with you, then there's so many ways to kind of give back that support as well. You know, you can donate, you can share, you can like, and of course, as always, definitely make sure that you are subscribed to this channel.
Dr. Gamble says, as a doctor, I can indeed medically verify that is true.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, I also want to mention too that I did some deep meditation right before this video all day yesterday, actually all last week leading up to this. And my intention was that the hybrid parents of the world will watch this video and gain access to that. Or maybe you watch this and it reminds you of someone who could potentially be a hybrid parent. So yeah, so I just kind of called out all of the individuals specifically who really wanted to and needed to see this information. First of all, there are many different types of hybrid beings and hybrid children even, so I'm not going to get into all of the different types. I do have a video out there that overviews all of the different types of hybrid. You know, I talked about energetic hybrid, physical hybrid, super hybrid, right? Superposition.
Basically, the hybrid thing is the idea that certain human children are only partially human and they have in fact been co-created with the help of aliens in some way. People use this sort of like the indigo children thing. It's a way to make them feel like their children are special. It's a way to make them feel like their children aren't just like everyone else's kid. They're an amazing super being, literally sent from the stars. It's like ridiculous.
So there's a really good video out there. Today I'm going to target something different altogether. Specifically, I'm going to target
what is an indigo kid, or is it star children? It's a similar thing where parents trying to make themselves feel like their kids are more special. How do I put this? Let me just Google it. I'm sure Wikipedia has a better summary than I could give. Indigo children. Indigo children, according to pseudoscientific New Age concept, are children who believe to possess special, unusual, and sometimes supernatural traits or abilities. The idea is based on the concept developed in the 70s by Nancy Ann Tape, further developed by Lee Carroll and Jan Tober. The concept of indigo children gained popular interest within the publication of a series of books in the 1990s and the release of several films including in the following decade. A variety of books, conferences, and related material have been created surrounding the beliefs of indigo children and their nature and abilities. The interpretations of these beliefs range from their being the next stage in human evolution, in some cases possessing paranormal abilities such as telepathy, to the belief that they are more empathetic and creative than their peers. No scientific studies give credibility to the existence of indigo children or their traits. Some parents choose to label their children who have been diagnosed with learning disabilities as indigo children to alternatively diagnose them. Critics view this as a way for parents to avoid considering pediatric treatment or psychiatric diagnosis. Some lists of traits used to describe indigo children have been criticized for being vague enough to be applied to most people, a form of the Forer effect. Maya is bored with 10 bits. Watched a documentary about indigo children. It's basically kids with ADHD, so it pissed me off pretty much since I have that, and the kids do not get the support needed. Yeah. It's parents, a lot of it is parents who are like, my kid has ADHD, but I view that as something that's inherently negative, so I'm going to try and come up with some other explanation that makes them feel not only normal, but exceptional. Same thing with autism. Some kids who are on the spectrum, their parents refuse to accept an autism diagnosis, and they get labeled indigo children by the parents.
Hybrid.
It's messed up.
Alien human hybrid children that are all on board spaceships right now. I know, it sounds crazy. If you think that this is crazy, then maybe you should back out of this video right now, because it's about to get a whole lot weirder. But that's who I'm specifically talking about today. Mostly I'm actually just talking about the Essassani hybrids, which are half Zeta, half Gray, and half human hybrid beings. And the whole...
Wait, half human, half Zeta, and half Gray. That's 3 halves, Elizabeth. You mean thirds. It's just they got an extra 50% of a person in there. Daddy Sume with 10 bits. Oh god, went to school with one of these indigos. They were an awful person. They were the snobbiest of cheerleaders. They were incredibly arrogant, and they didn't really understand why they couldn't succeed. It was depressing and incredibly annoying at the same time, What's a Zeta? They're different kinds of aliens. The Gray is supposed to be like your typical Roswell little gray men, big head, big eyes. You've seen it in popular media. Basically like South Park aliens or something like that. Whereas Zetas are, I think, reptilians. She believes in reptilians, and I think that's what she calls them. MMO addicted with 10 bits. No, she means half, and half. There's another head and torso growing out of them. It's like man, bear, pig.
Program of the hybrid children, and basically how we got there. And as always, thank you so much, Sherry, for that beautiful super chat.
It's man, bear, pig, half man, half bear, half pig.
Yeah, so I'm only focusing on those human gray hybrid beings. So years and years ago, if you guys know my story, if you've watched my Gaia interview...
Do Zetas count as reptilians? They do, because they are reptilians. Good point. Thanks for pointing that out.
If not, definitely go check it out.
I'm totally serial.
It's really awesome. And you can actually find a link for the Gaia interview off of my Linktree link that is in my Instagram profile. So, I know it's a roundabout way, but I'm sure the link is somewhere else. But that's where I know for sure it is. And so in this interview, I was kind of explaining a little bit about Hira, my counterpart, my gray self, and then what Hira was all about. So
this is the first I'm hearing about this. So she thinks that you have a mirror version of yourself, but it's an alien?
So years and years ago, after my first conscious abduction at the age of 18, I started having these really wild flashbacks.
Wait, where's the "that's not how science works" coming from? When did she mention science? The Stellar Sea Cow, indigo children have psychic powers and stuff like that. Every Joan I have ever met was a brat needing punishment and structure. Star children are human-alien hybrids. Typically, they are going to be descended from the Nordic aliens. Let me tell you, I know way too much about it.
To myself as an interdimensional. To myself as a, 8 foot tall.
Oh, she mentioned superposition? Okay. That's not how science works. Fair enough. I don't think I have that one on my card. That's a shame.
All interdimensional gray being. And I knew that this was a past lifetime. At this point in time, when I started having these flashbacks, I was already exploring past lifetimes. I already knew what to look out for. So I knew the feeling of hopping into my own Akashic record and meeting myself in a parallel timeline. So I was walking around this giant spaceship as Hira, this gray being. And then when I started to do research on the grays, because here I am, the tall gray being, that's who I feel like I'm most connected to. When I did research, oh, of course. Okay. I don't know why notifications are popping up. So when I did research on the grays, there was so much negative information. There was so much negative feedback about the grays and who the grays were and, their nefarious agendas around planet Earth. And I was so scared that I was a part of some evil, demonic, species that's here to take over the world. And so it was really through the discrimination of the grays that I started to really understand my purpose and also embrace that a little bit more. Now, as always, as I've always said, there are good and bad, high vibration and low vibrational beings in every single species out there in the universe. Polarity exists everywhere. Even when you have a very low vibrational species.
Do we have word salad? If anyone has word salad on their bingo card, I think that we've hit it. There you go.
You can still have very high vibrational beings within that species. Right? There's always going to be outliers within every species.
Did someone get bingo already? Send me your bingo card if you got bingo.
Species that don't fit in with the norm, right? I think all of us right here, right now are some outliers, right? And here we are. So, okay. So essentially, when I started to explore this gray past lifetime, I learned a couple of things. I learned that I was there was two of us, but I was one of the gray ambassadors for my species.
What's the bingo? We do on Tinfoil Tuesdays, we do conspiracy bingo, because conspiracy theories tend to involve a lot of the same tropes, and the first person who gets bingo on the bingo card, which you can access in the chat there by doing the bingo command, someone already did it, so it's in there. If you get bingo, then you get a free sub. The first person, not every single person, because I'm not rich enough for that, but I do gift a sub to the first person who gets a bingo. Logarth with tier 1 subscription, thank you.
At that time on this giant mothership. So I was male, even though
Gallivanter,
asexual,
thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
And yeah, and I was the leader of that civilization at the time. And surprisingly, oddly enough,
apologize.
I ended up having
of course
a
you
son.
do, yeah.
Okay, now it's
happy
weird
to answer
that
questions.
A six-dimensional gray
Welcome
being
to the stream,
who's an
by the way.
ambassador would want to have a child. Just in general, grays in general aren't as emotional. And but for me,
I wish I had the confidence not only to say that I believe that there's a species of alien out in the universe, but that I could assess their emotional state. I think there are probably somewhere in the universe, there's probably other life. Just statistically, if we exist, that means that life can exist, and therefore somewhere out in the universe, there's probably some other species. But to say that not only you know exactly that they do exist, but you know what they are, the name of their species, and their emotional state, I've never been that confident about anything in my life. And, like, it's not a good thing in this case, because she's confidently wrong, and that's not good. But, like, I just can't even imagine the level of confidence. It's crazy. Did she come out and support transgenderism because she used to be a male alien? I think that would be considered a different thing. It wouldn't surprise me if she's, like, for trans rights. She seems like she's a conspiracy theorist, but like a left-wing hippie-dippy, like, new age type of stuff. And I have a feeling she's probably quite left-wing. Maybe almost as left-wing as me. But, like, I imagine she's fine with, like, gay people and trans people and stuff. She's fine with lizard people, so of course she's probably fine with trans people like myself. Logarth with 10 bits. Am I going to break out the hard stuff for this stream? Because this is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy.
It felt like it needed to happen. It felt like I really wanted that family dynamic, which is kind of cool. So I ended up having a son, right, as this gray ambassador. I don't think I had a partner in that lifetime. I think I was just a solo parent. And
so not only does she know she had a past life as an alien, but she was a single alien father. I'd probably watch that movie.
My son, as a gray, like a full gray being, not a hybrid, but a full gray, ended up dying. Okay, my son ended up passing away. I would say roughly in Earth.
Who has dead alien child on the bingo card?
Years, about the age of 10 years old. Okay, he ended up dying.
Oh no! Did his alien ball, like, bounce into the street and he ran after it and he got hit by, like, an alien car? What? That's not cool, man.
And that was so difficult for me to deal with. And that's why I think in a lot of ways I've had difficulties on this planet figuring out if I want children or not.
Oh boy, I wish I could blame all my indecisiveness not about children. I know I don't want children, but if every time I'm indecisive I could just be like, this is due to trauma in a past life. Wouldn't that make, like, being a human so much easier if you could blame your very human problems on non-human things? Oh, MMO addicted with 10 bits. No, Alien Epstein caught them. It's okay, Alien QAnon is going to uncover the... is going to uncover the alien Satanists. Does Alien Ambassador count as an expert that has a ridiculous job title? Ooh, did she say specifically she's an alien ambassador? I said that because of how she talks about herself, but I don't know if she actually calls herself that. Squirrely Dandelion, thank you for following. Welcome.
And then having a very difficult time when I do have children.
She did?
Is
Then yeah.
because that son.
Then yeah, mark off weird title or whatever it is. I don't think I have that one. Yeah, I don't have it. But if you have it, something along the lines of ridiculous job title.
Died at such a young age.
No, it doesn't count. See, someone else said they did. If they didn't call themselves an alien ambassador, then no, it does not count.
So the Greys, in a lot of ways, are master geneticists.
I am ambassador for my species, end quote. Okay. If she said that, I'd say that counts. She's taking the title of ambassador for humans, or for Greys, if she's talking about that. That'd be fine.
So here are these master, advanced...
Dr. Gamble with 100 bits, you have no idea how much trauma I had to get over to hand you these bits. Well, I'm glad you could get past those hurdles.
Scientifically, spiritually, health-wise, medically, and my son ends up dying because his genetics were not strong enough to exist. And that's when it hit me.
What, he lived to 10? He lived to 10 years old. He had some sort of alien genetic condition that lets him live to be 10 years old. But after that, okay, cool.
Me, that the Greys, as a species, us at that time, we have genetically manipulated ourselves so much so to the point where we can no longer flourish. We can no longer thrive. We can no longer continue our species. And in a lot of ways, it's because the Greys did the logical, analytical thing, which was to create a bunch of clones of one another so they don't have sex or...
Yeah, when I think logical, I think, hey, guys, you know what we should do? Let's stop reproducing sexually. Asexual reproduction. That's analytical, right? That's what analytical means, is deciding to reproduce asexually. What?
Organs. There's no procreation process. Everyone's a clone of everyone else because that's the best genetically that we could get to.
Why, though? That's not even, like, within populations, you want genetic diversity. Why would you pigeonhole yourself into a situation where you all have the same exact genetics? That's not good. That would be bad for a species. That's not logical at all. Ugh.
And now all of a sudden we're unable to develop anymore genetically.
She's getting that from a species on Stargate SG-1. Is she really? Is that a plot point in an episode of Stargate? I've never watched Stargate. This is the plot of Destroy All Humans. It is, yeah. Cryptosporidium 137 or whatever has to go to Earth to get Furon DNA from the humans. MMO addicted with 10 bits. Hannah, analytical is when butt stuff happens and eggs are planted there. God, why are we talking about butt eggs?
And so this was a heartbreaking experience for me as this tall gray ambassador.
Kitten Mittens says, oh, I think the aliens know what they're doing, sheesh. I guess I am. You know what? You're right. I shouldn't judge the Greys. They clearly know what they're doing. Daddy Sume, stop kink shaming.
And my name as a Grey was Hira. And then at that time, almost so...
How many bits do you have to pay for me to never say butt eggs again? More than 25. Daddy Sumo with 10 bits. Butt eggs. Okay.
Divinely, I was contacted by the Palladian, a Palladian council. I don't think it was the Security Council, but a Palladian council that was a part of the...
The specificity! I don't think it was the Security Council. Well, what council was it? It functions like the UN and they have like a General Assembly and they have a Security Council? Did they also have like a Galactic World War II where like there's the main people who are on the Security Council due to the fact that they were like the space allies in Space World War II? Because that's where the Security Council comes from. They've added people since then. Like I think China might be on the Security Council at this point, but...
Galactic Federation. At this point, I wasn't a part of the Galactic Federation.
Logarth with 25 bits, butt eggs, butt eggs, butt eggs. It's starting to lose meaning in my head. I'm saying it so much.
Sometimes I would help them with certain things, maybe a technology advancement, some sort of treaty, whatever, and that was fine, you know, but I wouldn't necessarily say that we were, you know, a part of the GFL. And so they contacted me at that time and they said, will you assist us with your genetic knowledge on creating this hybrid species that eventually will be on planet Earth? And so that's when, and I learned previous to that, that the Greys were a huge help in developing human beings as we are right now today. That was a long time before this point, right?
There's nothing funny about the tools.
And so, yeah, so I agree.
Bellstar with 10 bits, ass ovum. Dr. Gamble with 10 bits. So how long till the evil Emperor Zurg shows up in her story?
And we started developing this hybrid project. And upon developing this hybrid project and putting our genetic knowledge to use, I also said, can we develop also in a way that will help the Greys as well? You know, can we develop in a way something that will help advance us, right? And that's when we also agreed, the Greys and the GFL, that we were going to create this hybrid species, half human, and, you know, we already need to know that human beings are hybrids in our own right, right? So there's kind of mutt of a species mixed with the Greys, a pure bloodline, and mixing them together. I don't know if the Greys are a pure bloodline. But I mean, they're pretty pure.
Why do alien beings care about keeping the bloodline pure? Like their aristocracy in 1640s France or something. We must keep the bloodline pure. Marry your first cousin. MMO addicted with 10 bits. I keep mishearing the gays instead of the Greys.
Compared to human beings.
They're space Aryan, yeah.
And then we create the Essassani, right? So that's my involvement in the past. Now the Greys...
We're probably going to go to around 15 minutes, and then we're going to switch over to something else, just because this is almost an hour long, and we're definitely not going to go through the whole thing.
Once again, there are good and there are bad. I have really only experienced... the good Greys. I have experienced the not so good Greys on one occasion or two, and...
You just said you've only experienced the good Greys, and then your next sentence was, though I have dealt with bad ones in an experience or two. So which is it?
The problem is that there are beings out there who are lower vibration, and they have the ability to inhabit bodies that are kind of like organic robots.
Can we vote for me to take her place as representative of Earth? I definitely don't want that job. No, thank you.
That's right.
Libertarian Karl Marx. Thank you for following. Welcome to the stream.
And basically, like, create a lot of chaos, right? And that's what some beings, I'm not going to name names, but some beings out there in the universe were coming through these little biological robot gray bodies and kind of stirring some stuff up on planet Earth and creating a lot of fear. Now, essentially, the agenda of these beings to create fear around the gray beings, the gray species, was initially to actually make us very fearful of abduction, make us very fearful of the hybrid species, make us very fearful of the grays in general. And this whole time, the grays are here to help us advance.
What fresh hell did you walk into? We're being informed about the grays. How dare you?
Right? That's their number one priority. I mean, the Greys have already figured out all of the genetic issues that they were having problems with. They've already figured that out. You know, they're good at this point in time. They are here now to really help us advance with these hybrid children, right? So it's very interesting. There's a huge backstory, but really my soul has been involved in creating human beings as hybrids way before, you know.
The delusions of grandeur necessary. Like, how little do you have to think of yourself that you have to come up with this insane conspiracy in which you are instrumental in creating humanity? It's so weird. Holly H3, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. And Dr. Gamble with 10 bits. This gray stereotyping doesn't listen to a word she says. She needs canceled. Elizabeth April is canceled party. Hashtag incoming.
Humans were ever even thought of. My soul has been involved in all of the peace treaties to help to harmonize.
Every peace treaty? You were involved in every single peace treaty in the galaxy? Not even one off in some backwater Tatooine planet happened and you weren't involved? That seems a bit weird, right?
The light and the dark energy in the universe. And now my soul is on this planet to help all of you be okay with understanding yourself as a hybrid being in your own right. And in understanding that you are a hybrid and you have DNA far beyond your comprehension, then you start to step into your power, right? And that's when human beings utilize their greatest gift, which is free will. If you want something, you can have it, right?
Oh, that was creepy for some reason. That just came off as like, ugh, I don't know why that creeped me out, but it definitely did.
If you want something, you can have it. Our entire reality tells us that we're not good to have whatever it is that we want.
Freaking out 99 with 10 bits. I think I heard this theory from David Wilcock also. This is the last of my bits for a long time. Yeah. I don't know about David Wilcock. I'm not familiar.
You know, and then we should feel guilty for having the things that we want, right? Or having a lot, right? Or what have you. So it's just a very disempowering energy. And we need to realize that we're far more powerful. And I'm not talking about having physical things. I'm talking about, you know, DNA activations, realizations.
What do you mean DNA activations?
Downloads, connections, you name it.
These are all words. I'll give you that. These are words. Downloads. Downloads are a thing. I can download a movie. But what does that have to do with me as a person? What?
You can have it. That's innately within you. That's your gift, right?
Okay, that's a good, I think that seems like a good place to stop. It looks like she's about to get on another topic, so that's it for the hybrid children for today. She makes money doing this, though. She gets super chats. Like, there's the $10 one, here's the $25 one. She has 80,000 subscribers. This one's actually pretty light on the super chats. I've seen streams of hers where she gets like a ton of super chats.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
I'm on the fence about Elizabeth. I'm not sure if she's legit a true believer or if this is a money-making scheme. Like, I really don't know. Because, like, her videos get decent views. 30,000, 30,000, 27,000. 47,000, 77,000, like, she's getting views, she's making money doing this, so if it's all a scam, I guess there are worse scams to do, but very strange, just very strange.